Thanks for staying with us. So there was an interesting post that went viral about a prom event in Uganda. You know, prom is a time where young kids, graduates from secondary school, look forward to this prom night, where they get an opportunity to have a date, go for dinner. It's like a nice, lovely dinner. I remember my prom night. I had, there's a guy, his name was Sean, I think, and he got a limousine to pick me up at the house, you know, myself and him, and he had the whole, yes, we dressed really nice. What was it called? The corsage. Corsage. And, you know, and he picked me up, we had a nice front photo, and it was really a nice experience. So I know the feeling that you have a date and you have to come in looking grand, extra for the prom night. Now, I don't know how proms are done in Nigeria. I'm sure people bring their cars in and they drop them. You know, many people have drivers here, so their parents probably drop. They have schools do proms here.
They look forward to it.
So I know prom is such an important night for a teenager, especially when you're 16, you have just left secondary school. But in the video that we saw, these people came extra. Like the biggest of the biggest. There was a helicopter.
There was a helicopter.
People came in and I was thinking, is this Africa or is this United? Because it can't be Africa, because I don't know if our economy the African economy can sustain what we're seeing. But we saw it, and everybody's jaw just dropped. What are your thoughts when you saw the video? Okay, you understand?
I just think, which kind of spoiled brats are this?
Okay.
Because in a country, you see, a country like Uganda, the poverty level is high. And this is my problem with all these with politicians that flaunt their money where there are so many poor people. You're having this kind of party where there are so many poor people who don't have 3 square meals. These kids will grow up and they will not consider those poor people. They will never, because they are not even being trained to consider these people. You are coming with helicopter to a prom night?
Okay, but the helicopter was a bit extreme, but I loved it.
Okay.
Honestly, I loved it because it's just for a day. They were all looking nice. Those cars, obviously, they may not be their personal cars. They must be hired cars.
Parents, of course.
But it was so lovely, the video.
Did you read it?
Why, it can't be their personal cars.
It's not their personal cars.
Obviously not their personal cars.
They will have hired it.
Their parents' cars, no?
Very lovely, honestly.
Hopefully our producers can get to the video and show us what. But I mean, when it comes to Mariam.
Yeah, so for me, it's I understand on the prom level for the students, I thought it was cute, nice, right? But I agree with YK on the fact that I'm from a country where there is widespread poverty.
Yeah.
I did not expect to see the show of wealth done like that.
Yeah.
It worries me because it shows that our problem is African-wide. You know, we don't pay attention to the impact of some things that we do. We don't know. Is it that we don't understand what it means to the general public, to people? You know, there are people sitting down. That's why people are waiting to get into government offices so that they can have this wealth as well, not to do anything for the country. Imagine if you had the children of, you know, these very rich politicians or African leaders, and they decided to use their prom to give back and made it a big issue. And then that's where, like, you know, the people would have more respect from that, because you come from a place. You know, you're not an island. You come from a place. There are people that live around you. You also come from privilege. You have to show that you understand that because of some people, yes, you have this privilege and you have responsibilities. I'll give you an example. Recently, I was watching a video and a lady asked, you know, this man, who is a very wealthy man, that how do wealthy people raise their children so that they are more resilient? Because this is something we were talking about recently, that our children don't seem to have a lot of resilience. And he said that you need to be careful not to jump to solve all their problems. You know, if they have a problem, let them face it. And the reason why that is important for me, why I thought it was important and it stood out, is because in our culture, especially in Nigeria, when we're raising our children, especially when we've come to some money, we think that's the time that we should show and give them everything because we can. But what does that mean for the child as that child becomes an adult? What does that mean? What does that mean for a child who thinks that he can get a helicopter and fly down into whatever, and then we're showing off the... You know how children are now. It makes you feel so important. Yes. And then entitled. You're entitled to this wealth.
But it's just one day.
No, but it may not... No. See, Oyinbo people, see, Steve Jobs that created the Apples, the late Steve Jobs. He's the one that created that computer. But he said he was not going to give his children access to that computer. We know of, what's his name, Bill Gates, who is saying that I'm not going to hand over my wealth to my children. I think Warren Buffett as well. They understand that you cannot give everything to a child and expect that that child will grow up to be an adult that would, you know, get up and chase and be responsible for something. So that's what's about. We're not saying it's not a day, but the level of wealth that was shown here is just accumulated. I can bet you that there's so many other things that has happened with this group of kids.
So I hear you, Mariam, you're absolutely right. The opulence was shown. There was, but if you go to a certain school, there's certain schools. There's this big school that I know.
Is it the Charterhouse that is about to come home?
So there are certain schools you go, and you know that everybody there is a child of either a member of parliament or high-level old money. Yes. And there is no way you not come for that kind of a prom without a limousine or a big car. It is the norm. It's, for you, we are regular human beings. We see it as a big deal. To them, it's just a freaking helicopter. What is the big deal?
It's a big deal because it's in Uganda. It's a big deal because it's in Nigeria. It's a big deal because you are from this country where people are suffering. It does not make sense to do that show of opulence from places like this.
A slum in America is like 1004.
YK.
Yeah, but it's true.
I'm not lying.
It's true.
I've
there are
seen
slums and there are slums. You're talking about projects.
Look,
that's project, but there are real slums.
Recently, we were supposed to discuss it, but we didn't discuss it. A politician thought that he had done something very good for his constituents and gave them that thing that they used to wrap. You people used to wrap dead bodies, the white cloth and clay pots to bury dead bodies. That is, in his own estimation, that is what he should give his people. He did not think, let me start building houses for them to stay so that they don't die and they don't even need the
pay for hospital bills.
The race.
He did not think
let me build hospitals so that they won't die. Let me just treat their dead body. Come on.
He's a lawmaker. He doesn't have that kind of...
We don't think about people.
Let's show the video. Let's show the video so that those who don't know what we're talking about can see. I got it.
Honestly, please, if the producer can hear me, please, can you help me go and look for a slum in Uganda?
Yes.
And show the slum.
And show the slum. That you see, when you are showing off this kind of opulence to your people, how you don't give your people hope. So we become hopeless.
The hope is in getting that position.
What's the difference, YK? What's the difference in this when you see politicians come in convoys in these kind of cars too? No, they also it's the same thing.
They're all that is why I'm talking. That is why, because in my own country they can do it. I'm sure they even do it. They even do more than that. It's because we don't have video.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines and take some calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this video that trended from Uganda of a prom night. And I was trying to highlight how important prom is for every teenager who's graduating from secondary school. It's a big deal. Back then, it wasn't this elaborate where they do the hair and the long. I mean, I had a lovely dress. You know, just simple hair, but now they've gone haywire. They've gone nuclear. They do their hair, they're styled, you know. So there's a lot of pressure everywhere. But I mean, I hear the conversation of you can't be displaying this sort of opulence in a country like Uganda, obviously, and even anywhere in Africa. In fairness, because there are slums everywhere and there are poor people everywhere. So it might not be nice, or it's quite distasteful to do that on social media. But the reality is that parents see it as, I have worked for my money. I have earned this car that I drive. And if my child wants to use this vehicle for this one night, for her prom, because that's what the prom is. You're supposed to go there and, you know, sweep the girl off her feet, be very, very romantic, and get her in this beautiful car. That's the idea. So why are we making a fuss over just a one-day, one-off thing?
So to me, I honestly, the video is interesting to me, honestly speaking. It's something that I would love to do. I would like to do it. Because these are kids. It's just like the normal Owambe. It's a day's thing. It's a day thing. Okay. They will just go enjoy themselves. They come in their exotic cars.
Compete with each other.
Most importantly, those cars, I'm sure most of them, they rented those cars. Yeah, they don't belong to their parents. So it's okay for them to come. It's just like the Owambe parties. We spend money in our Owambe.
Is that a good way? What our kids learn is like you're encouraging competition.
It may not even, for me, what I see, I'm so happy that you went there. What are we teaching children? Yeah. What are we teaching children from Africa that are aware of the issues in Africa? What are we teaching children of privilege in Africa that are aware of the issues in Africa? That is what I would like for us to really take the time to think about it. You know, there is just a small percentage of our children that come from, you know, this sort of socioeconomic background. How would we like for them to give back? Should it be really about showing off of wealth and trying to compete with their counterparts in Europe, in the Western world? And those people have decades and decades and centuries of wealth that, you know, what they're showing off is a tiny percentage, you know, of their country's wealth, of the continent's wealth. For Africa, we know we're all Africans. We understand that for African children to be able to show that a lot of money that was not meant to be there has been used. What are we telling a child about renting a helicopter to go for? You're renting a helicopter to come for prom. For me, I just think that we're not putting our priorities right. I was looking at Uganda's, you know, numbers, and they said Uganda falls among the poorest countries in the world. A large share of its population live below the poverty line. And so these are some of the things when we talk about even our country, that when we have this sort of numbers, this sort of socioeconomic issues, what should we see those who live in privilege, you know, are doing? If it was their fathers and their mothers that were doing it, there's a likelihood we may forgive them because we say, they earned it, they worked for it, they were appointed into it. But to now take it on to the level of your children, I just feel that you're sending the wrong message. So another child is looking and thinking, what is his father doing? That's what I want to do, you know. And I know that, one thing I was trying to look for is the percentage of billionaires in Uganda. I'll check it and then we'll look at it. Let's see if that matches with the number of billionaires they have in their country.
Let me take this call from Deborah. Thanks for calling from Margot. You're live. Hello, Deborah, you're live on TV. Go ahead, please. I think we listen to the TV. Mike, you're going to say something.
I wanted Ramatu to talk because she thinks that it was very tasteful. So please defend yourself. Because
so me, I feel it's tasteful because I feel that it's just a day thing. The children should come and enjoy themselves. Just like the way when we go for, we don't spend so much money in weddings. At weddings. We spend so much money at weddings. And then we also go in exotic cars. Don't they bring the wife and the groom in an expensive car? They come, spend so much money. We lavish like so. Theirs is just happening because it's a prom, and things are evolving. Things are changing.
Okay, let me take this call from Henry. He's calling from Dublin. You're live.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Hi.
Yeah. Good morning, Mariah and Whitey and all that. Yeah, my name is Henry.
Morning.
I've been a fan of this program for the past 10 years anyway, while I was in Nigeria and now here in Dublin. So I just to thank you guys for the amazing job you ladies are doing. Okay, yeah, and for the conversation going, I think every no matter how poor a country is in Africa, there are rich people around it, and this I happen to know one of the parents. She's here with me, you know, one of the parents in this the kid in this video. So the thing is, we were talking about it yesterday. So I was talking with the mom, and she told me that, look, the school is an international school. First of all, it's an international school, and these are rich kids in Uganda. You know, so they just have to, you know, show the level, you know, how rich their parents are. But the mom is not happy. She's here. She's a nurse. She's hustling. She's trying so hard, and she wasn't happy about the whole thing. It was the uncle that hired a car that the son used. So, you know, it's just the way it is. I don't want to say much, so she doesn't know I'm talking about her.
Yeah.
But
so thank you very much for hearing.
My time is up. But just to let you know, I'm the anonymous person that bought 10 of your books and asked you to give it to people to read.
All right. Thank you very much, Anonymous. Thank you so much, Henry. So, you know, when he was talking about the fact that it was the international school, you know, I now remember that even on my own prom night, there were lots of limousines. Yeah. And that's when people all those limo companies make a lot of money. Back then, I don't think they use limos anymore now. Maybe they don't. But back then, I don't know what they use now. But back then, when you go to the venue, limousines will be passing like that, differently, because people, in fact, some kids rent together. There's a group. You can share the money. And I think we also shared about maybe 2 other prom couples. So it's that night where they want to just show that explicit opulence that we see. Not because they are trying to throw it in people's faces, just so that they say we came here prepared for this event. So yeah, but I get the rationale and the reason that, listen, you're in Africa, maybe we shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. But hey, it was just one night.
So now let's talk about the culture. This is not an African culture, right?
It's not an African culture.
So when we finish secondary school, we do like send-off party, you know, and within our means, right? And for those that is even their culture, I was just going to go there where you said, I think you sort of did, it wasn't just you that rented a limousine.
There were 2 or 3 couples.
Exactly. Even the Oyinbo people. If we watch their prom movies, there were 4 of them, 4 couples, we get 1 limousine. Do you understand? It's
you don't have space for limousine in Africa. Oh. No, our roads are very, very narrow. So we can't do that. Okay, we have individual cars in Africa. We are different from them. Everybody has their own Jeep. Everybody has their own whatever it is. So we don't need limousines in this country. So we are doing that according to our own money.
They are doing according to their own money, where they understand that this is such an expensive thing that I will not get it for just my child. We will share in the thing. Do you understand? This is even their culture, but they also understand that it takes a lot of money. You see what happens with us when we take something that is not originally ours. We blow it. This is Uganda. My God, I cannot wait for 2024 prom. What will happen when Nigerians have now seen this video? We will see something. And that's the thing. We don't want that to be. I would like for us to be able to export some cultural thing that we do for our children. Yes, export it. Do you understand? That shows the sort of values that we hold dear. That our children, knowing that they are from Africa and things are going wrong, we make it a charity thing. We do a huge charity project for our end of year, whatever. And then we do a small get together and take pictures and do it with friends. This materialism is getting out of hand. We know. Do you understand? We understand. This is one day. For you as an adult, you understand it's one day. You see that boy that flew in that helicopter? When he's going to university, he will be looking for a helicopter. When do you understand?
Maria.
The child will just build upon this.
Let me reply, Maria. You see, the opulence that you see is because technology giving us cars. If this happened in the olden days, you see something similar.
Horses.
The horses will be decorated. You see how, because they used to describe my grandfather, who was the area of Lagos. See, when the man comes, he comes in damask. The man he liked damask, and you see him, he was very wealthy. When he comes into a room, you know that Teslim Abiodun Fuja has entered, because he had that's how we are as Africans. We are very extravagant like that. So it's because we have cars. If there were not cars, we will use our horses. We will use whatever it is, and you see the same type of opulence. So it's not about they're taking foreign culture. Yes, we take it and we use it according to what we have. So I think it's not a foreign thing. It's who we are.
There's this comment here that says, please, which one is high school? I only know secondary and university. Someone please answer me.
Secondary.
Because this one is, in Nigeria, we have nursery, primary,
and
secondary.
So unfortunately, lots of, you see, again, I always say Nigerians' problem are middle class. I've always said it's one day people will thank me for this thing.
Yeah.
That Nigeria's #1 problem are the middle class. The middle class.
It's not Nigerians that did this work.
Many Nigerians, they travel abroad. And they come with all these nice ideas. So abroad, they have the high schools, they have so they bring it here, and then they change their format against maybe government's approval, just to sound international and foreign.
Yeah.
You know, we have high schools. It's year 1. I was telling my child the other day, you're going to primary 1 in September. My little one said, no, I'm going to year 1. I said, it's primary 1 here.
Exactly.
It's year 1. So it's all part of feeling we are foreign, we are different. It's the middle class problem I've been complaining about.
It's
the top class.
Go back to the
middle and top, they're all the same thing.
That is from the top.
Yes.
Let me tell you why it is from the top. Yes, let me tell you why it is from the top. Because we like to feel, we like to be like Oyibo people. Whichever way we like to, if I do my hair,
my car,
we want to be, listen, let me finish. We want to be like Oyibo people. We like to portray the Oyibo culture too much. So Africans are not proud of their skin. They are not proud. You will see some will be bleaching. And it is... Look, do you know that? I used to have a friend when I was... No, I was a young girl. I was a young kid. And we used to walk the streets. I will escort her. She will escort me. I will escort... She was mixed race. So she was light. I was dark. If I wasn't sure of myself, I would have a complex because there is no car
that will not
stop, and it's her because of her skin. Me, because I was dark, nobody will look at me because I was working with a mixed race person.
That's preference.
It's not preference. It's because we have been trained to believe yellow is better than black. So our eye, that's what our eye sees, yellow. So it's these things, let me tell you, they can celebrate their prom. It's okay. It's okay. All I'm just saying is that in this part of the world, first, it's not our culture. Secondly, there is too much poverty. And a poor man that is watching will just be saying, let me be an armed robber and be like this.
Mike, let me pause you. Evelyn has been holding for a while. I'm so sorry. Evelyn, are you there?
Yes.
I'm so sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I want to contribute about what people are talking about.
Yes.
Actually, it's not good at all. First of all, it is not our culture as Africans.
Yes.
I don't know why we kind of portray Oyibo people, so-called Oyibo people. We enjoy them and we try to throw away our own culture. I cannot... Yes, prom is good. It's good to go and enjoy yourself, but not lavishing money when people around are so poor. And then you spend money anyhow on the child. And then there's another child out there looking at them. That's why we promote Yahoo Plus and Yahoo this and Yahoo that. Because the other children seeing this and they'll say, yes, I want to do any kind of thing so that I can provide for my child. And it's really, really bad. It's troublesome to our continent. Thank you.
You know, there was an event last year called Torati, Nigeria, in Lagos. And maybe people had their cars, of course. They're not projecting the cars. But the point I was trying to make earlier is that even in our Africanness, if we choose to go with what Ike said, let us be African, wear your natural hair, wear your Accra, even in that, we can still project, we can even still amplify opulence in different ways. So it's not just about the cars. And the reason why this is a hot topic is because we saw cars. But that issue of opulence is not because of the technology. It's because of the innate Africanness to express your culture.
My body is shaking. I want to answer. Let's talk about the multiplier effect of wanting cars like that and helicopters like that at the detriment of their country's foreign exchange. So if we did the culturati, as you said, and we did it big, you know, And the effect of that is that it goes down into our economy. These cars and whatever, they're all imported. So that's why we cannot look at everything just as face value. There's deeper meanings to that. I'm looking at, someone sent me a comment that says that the helicopter was hired for over 3 million Ugandan shillings.
Wow.
You know that the value of their money is so bad, you know. And compared to Naira, it's about 1-point-something million Naira for that helicopter.
For one night.
Yeah, for one night. And, you know, if that sort of money was spent on things that were produced in Uganda, spent in Uganda, you know, enriching Ugandan people, then, then it will make sense. Then we would have events like this where it is strictly African, strictly Nigerian, strictly black that enriches our people somehow. The Oyinbo people always build these commercial events around their, around their holidays and things. Yes, and then they are making money off it. They have commercialized Christmas. They have commercialized everything, and they are making money for their countries. What is it that we have?
The Prom is being commercialized. You pay for the hall, you pay for the food, it's commercialized.
Good, that's what I'm saying. But it's making money for their country. For us, when we do it, we now have to import all these things, making money for their country still.
In dollars.
So imagine if we were doing things that were just African.
Let me take a few comments. Before you respond, let your blood calm down first. Let me read some. Otuba Karim said, good morning, Mariam. The ladies, this is one of the reasons why corruption and crime has become an incurable cancer in our society. What happens to some of the parents of the classmates who cannot afford this opulence? Such children may inadvertently go into crime to belong. It might even interest you to find out that some of these little kids showing big boy, big Olodo Rapata. They don't know anything. They have coconut head. They probably got 0.00 GPA. Okay.
So I was also going to say, when you were saying they could have rented horses. So all the poor people we enjoy, because they are all coming in horses.
Yeah.
They could have rented cow.
Yeah.
Are you not hypocritical? Why
I'm not being
it's nice to say.
So
you see,
Mariah,
we like to point fingers. We love, but why
Wait. I am not a rich person.
Yeah.
But there are some certain things I can enjoy in my life that I do make sure I try to enjoy them, because you only live once. But when I'm doing it, I do it very quietly in my own corner. I don't go and show off to people that, see me.
Yes.
Where I have to where? You have not arrived in a country where there are so many poor people. Once your country, you have so many poor people, you as a person, you have not arrived anywhere. You are a non-starter. Start with your people. Then we know that you have progressed.
Yeah.
We're always oppressing each other. And this is part of this is the problem of Boko Haram. And this is because this is the ripple effect. Yeah. We are oppressors. Stop oppressing your people.
But the point of where I'll come to Ramatu.
You that are angry.
The hypocrisy of it is that all of us here, we're not riding bicycles. You are driving cars. Because if you are if we are about the poor people, nobody has money. We are in a poor country.
Exactly.
Everybody start riding bicycle.
Exactly.
Because you are a considerate Nigerian, that your car, sell it, buy a bicycle and ride it to work. Because you are considerate.
Oranges are
we are considerate of the poor. Because we're in a country where we're very poor. So everybody, including YK, let's export all our cars.
See now, for example, I will make my own money and I decide I want to rent that 3 million Uganda for my daughter to be inside. And then you come and tell me to worry about the people that are at the bottom. No. At that point in time, what I'm thinking about is my child's happiness. And me too, when I do it, I'll feel happy.
I'm happy that you said that. Because that's
not helping our argument.
Because that is the attitude we want to change.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You see, there's something I see these Oyinbo people.
We're having a conversation here, rich conversation. Please calm down.
One thing I noticed with Oyinbo people, the British, is that you cannot.
Like Oyinbo people.
No, I don't like Oyinbo peoples a lot. Did I say peoples? Sorry, a lot.
We know everything.
There are some things that they do, right, that I think we can pick up from, and I like to compare some things because it will also highlight some of the things that we do better. So what I see these British people do is, and it used to make me wonder at first, like when you have accumulated wealth or you have a lot of money, the people don't fawn over you. They're not excited or impressed by you. Do you understand? They're impressed by the work that you do. So that culture doesn't have a culture of showing off of wealth like that. In America, you see that. But Oyinbo people, the British, you don't really see that unnecessary show of wealth.
That show off, actually.
Good. And that is something I would like for us to bring home. So we're not saying you are not working hard. We get it, you are. We're not saying that you should not enjoy some of the things that your hard work brings you. But we're
not
saying
that YK should ride a bicycle.
But we're saying that there's a place that we're going, and we need to be intentional about that. When we say to government, be intentional about this tightening of belt, it has to look like it as well as do it physically.
Yes.
It's because all of us come from different places. If we all believe that, you know, it's about myself and I, at the government level, we still will not do it for people because we feel, I've gotten this position, I must show off my wealth, I don't care what anyone thinks. We need to change that mindset. Our children need to change
we have to wrap up.
Who are you showing off to?
The show has ended. That is all we can take on today's show.
I'm just going to talk about Oyinbo people that have money. Can I just quickly say that?
Yes.
The very, very rich ones, you will never know. You will never. Maybe their shoe is leather. You will never know.
Like African, we like to show off.
African man arrive.
Yes, we like to show you. We like to show off. Africans like to show off.
Zuckerberg gave to Yaba.
Was he not wearing t-shirts?
I wear t-shirts.
That you know.
That t-shirt costs $5,000. Do you know? But you can never know.
That is all. I'll wear $5,000 shirt. You won't know it's $5,000. You won't
I'm sure you put those are whistles. Here I come.
$5,000 shirt. You don't know it's $5,000. You okay?
You put it will be $5,000 shirts incoming.
We will see.
If you don't even know, I'll tell you. I'll tell you that it's 5,000 and I'm wearing 5,000.
Why can't leave that word? That is Africa. Please, leave us the way we are. That's all we can take on
oppressors. We are oppressors.
See you tomorrow. We're not oppressors. See you tomorrow. Bye.